I don't like boys and I don't like dogs. I like only girls. The girls are so sweet and cute, just like cats.
Hello and welcome, Hello and welcome, fellow film buffs. I'm Zack, and I'm joined by my co-host and fellow cinephile, Hunter Venalirup.
Yo.
We are the Box Office Losers. Each and every week, we deep dive into the movie sphere and watch and review any and all films to ever grace the silver screen or your TV screen. This week, we are talking about Be My Cat, a film for Anne.
This is so fucked up, dude. this movie's so fucked up.
We are following we're following up on the Spooktober. It's coming to an end.
We have one more week, but a fun bonus coming up, yes. So it'll be nice.
I picked this film, as I stated in our last episode. I took liberties. I took out Friday the 13th in replace for this film.
Let's be real, this film is probably scarier than the first Friday the 13th movie. This is... because it's real, man. Like, it feels real.
The overview really doesn't explain this film entirely.
Well, no, that's why we have some of the notes in there.
Like the overview makes it sound like Anne Hathaway is actually in this film, which she's not.
Yeah.
So I know how to pronounce the fucking director's name.
I actually don't. So sweet.
Adrian Țofei.
Oh, it is just Țofei. Okay.
Yes.
Wanted to make sure.
And Adrian, if you were listening, you made probably one of my favorite found footage films in the horror genre. You definitely took the cake. I enjoyed this film.
Hey, Adrian, as you'll find out, I'm not a big fan of found footage films, but this one definitely felt the most real. For a hot second, I thought this was like a legit murder movie. Like, it was oh god, what are they called? Snuff films. For a hot sec, I was like, this is a snuff film. Zack's fucking tricking me with the snuff film, isn't he?
So you thought I actually found a snuff film on Amazon Prime?
For a hot sec, I thought you did. For a hot sec, I was like, that's how oh real, shit.
Sure, like there's one scene that like definitely takes you out of the film, and that's when he's cutting Aries' stomach. And, and the blood just hits the sheet. You're like, okay, that's the bottle of syrup we just saw.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny. He's like, I'm not going to use this. This isn't real. I'm going to go cut her up. And then you see the syrup, and I was like, that's funny.
For me, I enjoyed this movie so much. I actually heard about this from another YouTuber because he was watching disturbing films and like very awkward films. And this came up, and he goes like, this film messed me up.
Is it? This is a fucked up film. I don't know if I have it in the notes section, but I believe one of the only regrets Țofei has with this film is that he didn't have enough money to get like the real fake blood. He's like after seeing it, he's like, I didn't really like that we did the strawberry like cornstarch syrupy thing, but that's all we had with the budget. So I believe that's one of his only regrets.
For an actual this doesn't feel like a $10,000 film.
No, it feels a little bit more higher budget, but at the same time it doesn't. If that makes sense?
It feels like a higher budget, but it feels even like less than that. It feels like this movie was filmed for like $500 at most.
I can see what you mean. No, I can see what you mean.
I'm not shitting on this film. I'm saying that this film feels so real and so uneasy to watch. Like you going into, you're like, okay, this is gonna be like your cookie cutter found footage, jump scares here and there.
Yeah.
No, this is just a guy going insane. Okay, I'll read the overview though. Even though it doesn't really give much to this film.
That's why the first paragraph in the notes section gives it a little bit more.
Yes.
And then obviously we'll jump into the plot and stuff after.
An aspiring Romanian filmmaker obsessed with Hollywood actress Anne Hathaway goes to shocking extremes to convince Anne to star in his upcoming film. Legit, that overview makes you think Anne Hathaway is going to be in this film.
For a sec, I thought she was going to show up at the end.
And fun little note that we got to.
No, we'll save it for later.
No.
Save it for later. We have a note section for a reason, Zachary. Don't spoil all the goodies.
Listen, the goodies are there. And God, I love this film. Seeing it a second time, you pick up on things that like are very like subtle as well. Like I love like the sure this probably was not planned or was planned, but the cat on the side of the road.
Oh, that definitely wasn't planned. It just came off as like he saw it and just started filming it. Apparently he again, I don't know if I have this in the notes section, but he was method acting for like 5 or 6 months.
Yes, I mentioned that.
Okay, you got it in there somewhere.
Saying that he locked himself in his house for an X amount of weeks to months in preparation for this role. He I think I found out about Adrian Țofei is that he is a method actor. He comes from the stage of doing like plays and everything.
Yeah, he has a one-man show, which we'll talk about in the notes section.
And he actually is coming out with another movie.
Ooh.
That I don't know the name of it. I'll look it up probably as we go through the notes and when Hunter's reading.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be another found footage film as well.
Uh-oh. So, I mean, with how much I thought this was like a decent found footage film, I'll probably watch his other one. So we shall see.
And hey, also Adrian, he likes to answer questions and
yeah. So we'll
get to know the people that watch.
Exactly.
So Hunter, kick us off with this note.
Kick us off with the notes? Alright, so Be My Cat, A Film for Anne is a 2015 English-language Romanian found footage psychological horror feature film directed, produced, and written by and starring Adrian Țofei about an aspiring Romanian filmmaker obsessed with Hollywood actress Anne Hathaway who goes to shocking extremes to convince her to be in his upcoming film. It only had a budget of $10,000, which we mentioned like a bunch of times. Yes. It is Adrian Țofei's first film and Romania's first found footage horror film. It was the winner of Best Film at the 2015 A Night of Horror International Film Festival in Sydney, which is Australia. And he got Best Actor at the 2016 Nashville Film Festival. So hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's some accolades right there. Winning a film festival is way harder than fucking like winning an Oscar, let's be real. Because there are so many insane films that you get to see in film festivals that don't get to see the light of day because big Hollywood wants what it wants, you know what I mean? I've seen so many independent films that are phenomenal, and then you see like the typical bullshit schlock win Oscars and Grammys and all that shit.
Yeah.
So it is a huge accomplishment. I'd much rather win a festival award than win a Grammy, an Oscar.
That's also this is pretty cool that this is Romanian's first found footage film.
Yeah. Which is a surprise, because you think Romanians would do a lot more of the found footage horror films, because they got a lot of weird folklore that can easily play into found footage.
Yeah, that's really cool, though. It won the best film at Night of Horror, and he won Best Actor in the Nashville Film Festival. You got some accolades that are... I see at least, we agree that, film festivals... hold slightly bigger merit to us.
At least to me, yeah, to us, exactly. Don't get me wrong, Oscar award-winning actors are phenomenal. Like Jake Gyllenhaal, DiCaprio, I think Hathaway actually got one at some point recently. Like, they're great actors and actresses, but winning a film festival is a lot harder because you have a smaller budget, you got to work with other things, and you have a lot of creative people doing things that Hollywood won't sanction.
Yeah.
So, and that's why Blumhouse picks up a lot of the independent films, because Blumhouse is willing to take chances.
I'm surprised Blumhouse really didn't think about this film, especially with it being in 2015.
Yeah, that's true. That was when Blumhouse was at its peak. Maybe
Blumhouse
will pick up his next one.
Maybe, but if not, though, I would rather prefer him stick with that company that he worked with.
Yeah, I forget what company it was. He had a lot of
free range to do whatever he wanted.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Continuing on with the notes, one of the reasons why Adrian Țofei chose to make a horror movie was his theory that horror films put a mirror in front of the audience, a mirror in which they see reflected their darkest and most violent subconscious impulses. And so they become aware of them and get to control them in real life, which is the reason why most horror fans are non-violent persons with a high level of consciousness.
It's basically like a lot of horror movie fans have a moral compass. It's basically what it is. It's
very
like,
more or less.
It's like horror movie fans love seeing people die because they know they'll never do it.
Director Adrian Țofei told actress Sonia, I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name.
I think it's Teodori.
Sonia Teodori, to respect the indication that his character is in the movie, was going to give her character during improvisation. So when he asked her to reject him, she unexpectedly called the cops for real. Which that scene made me very oh, okay, what's happening right now?
Yeah, that's one of the ones that made it like, oh shit, is this like a real thing? Like, did he not tell the actresses he was gonna fuck with them really hard?
Yeah. While playing her role in one of the scenes, one of the policemen who came understood and said that the emotion in her role became so real that she genuinely felt she needed to call she needed to call them. The moment was caught on camera, and some of them are in the movie. So, a fun note, when we first see the actresses, that actually is their very first meeting in real life. And how he prepared them for this role, he said, whenever I speak English, that is my character. If I speak to you in Romanian, that is me.
That's a good way to separate everything.
So, it's so cool that we actually get to see their first meetings on camera as well. Because, we don't get to see that. He legit just put a casting call out online, and he saw the videos of the best people and brought them in. Mm-hmm. Which is, we'll talk about Aries' character. I think the second female that appears. Because I think she almost stole the show pretty much.
Oh yeah, she was pretty good. I liked Sonia a lot, and one of my notes is
yeah, she's a bombshell.
Yeah, and then Aries is great though. I have one of the notes down there as well that I was like, nice. We'll talk about that. So I'll continue on with the notes. A year before shooting the movie, director, producer, and writer Adrian Țofei,
lead actor,
it's gonna say this every time, moved to his hometown of Radauti. Sorry if I mispronounced that, bud. With his mother, and began to experience some of the circumstances that surrounded his character's life. The guy played by Adrian, who in the movie, whose name is also Adrian, lives with his mother in a small Romanian town. He raises money through an Indiegogo campaign and makes an online casting call and selects actresses by their pictures and videos. He then rents a pension and waits for the actresses to come. For the psychological realism, Adrian also raised part of the production budget through Indiegogo campaigns, selected the real actresses only by the pictures they sent, and why is this here twice?
It's Wikipedia.
No, I actually got this from IMDb. And they met for the first time filming location. Sorry, I repeated myself.
You probably chopped some stuff from my paragraph into your paragraph.
I was probably chopping stuff around, yeah.
So it's very cool that like I said, I enjoy the length Adrian took to get into this role, and I enjoy the lengths that he took to prepare the actresses for this role.
Yeah, dude, this film actually really inspired me to get back into the movie scene again. I want to talk to you about the script we were writing a while back. I want to try to get that into fruition again.
Should we just make that a found footage film as well?
I thought it was already kind of a found footage film, because I thought there was always going to be a camera rolling around.
It's found footage, but also it's suspended in like a normal cinematic type thing.
Yeah, I think, and then also we should chop out that ending that we had for it that was like, it's also just a thing. No, we should actually, I don't want to spoil anything just in case we ever do make this. Yeah. But I definitely want to chop out that quote-unquote alternate ending and just make it, leave off at the most fucked up place.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be super fun.
I need to rewrite it because I think I lost the file for it.
I think I still have the script somewhere in my house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you do have it.
I have some notes on it, so I'll give it to you next time I see you if I can find it again. I think it's up in my closet.
Continuing on with the notes, so Adrian shot the film in chronological order over a 20-day period.
That's a fantastic turnaround, by the way.
During which he lived in character for most of the time. Another thing too, he used a lot of one-take shots.
Yeah, I think I put that somewhere down here. A lot of it
everything
is
was mainly just one take.
Yeah, which is awesome because he said the first take was always the best take because it felt real.
Most of the time, it is.
Yeah.
Adrian Țofei worked over 5 years on the movie from the moment he came up with the title on December 6th, 2012, to the release by Terror Films on April 27th, 2018.
Yeah, that's the official release.
Yes. He moved from Bucharest to his hometown in Rad. I'm going to call it Rad.
Rad.
Didn't socialize and stayed at home at all the time for the first 2 years in order to live in character. On one hand, and save money, and concentrate only on the project. On the other hand, working for hours each day and night, learning to apply at the same time all the aspects of filmmaking and film production. He suffered from anxiety for the first time in his life and hasn't fully recovered since.
Oh, my baby boy.
That's actually, like, I want to say, you, Adrian, once again, if you're listening, you are one hell of a method actor. You were definitely up there with some of the guys that I see as good method actors. That's insane. Like, he locked himself in his house, and he pretty much now just suffers from anxiety because of it. Yeah,
do you want to read the next bit of note, and then I'll read the big old paragraph?
Yes. Adrian became inspired to make the movie after the success of his one-man show, The Monster, in 2012. Also about a guy obsessed with an actress. The film was initially supposed to be an adaptation of The Monster, but as the project evolved, it became an original story, and Adrian kept only some elements in his character psychologically.
Yeah, so it's cool that he had a one-man show going on, and then that inspired him to do a film, because a lot of the Broadway-type guys, like, who do one-man shows, really don't, like, jump into the movie scene themselves. They always, like, jump in and hop onto other films rather than adapting something they did. So it was really cool that he was just like, fuck it, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah. Now up to you.
Yeah, so in Be My Cat's initial concept, the character played by Adrian was rescuing a captive girl trafficked by a dangerous pimp and taking her into the attic of his mom's house. The girl's initial joy of being saved from the pimp was soon to be replaced by the shocking realization that the guy who saved her is a psychopath who wants to turn her into his pet cat by implanting claws into her flesh and other atrocities that he claims to do out of love, not realizing the pain he's causing. Dude, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Imagine that movie, dude.
Adrian, like, hey, if you want us to help with that, like, hit us up, my guy.
Yeah, dude. Where was I? When the dangerous pimp finds Adrian's house and comes to take the girl back, she's faced with a huge dilemma. Scream for help and risk being trafficked and raped by the Western EU. Don't know what that means.
Europe. I think the Western Europe.
Okay, I guess being raped in Western Europe because she's going to be pimped out. Or stay with the romantic psychopath who wants her to be his cat and live happily ever after in his attic. The confrontation between Adrian and the pimp was going to change something in Adrian's awareness and transform him into sort of an anti-hero. But during pre-production, the actor who was going to play the pimp all of a sudden stopped answering Adrian's messages and calls. Adrian took that as a sign that he didn't want to, that he was not on the right path, and decided to not replace him, but instead change the movie's concept to not need that actor anymore.
That's so fucking cool,
dude. Not to like be like a Debbie Downer on this film, but I would have loved to see this version of it.
True, but I don't think this film would have worked in the found footage aspect.
Oh, I don't think it was going to be a found footage film if it was this one. I think it was going to be more of an actual film if it took this concept. I mean, if we ever do get to interview Adrian, I would love to ask him about this, because this concept is crazy.
Yeah, this sounds like it sounds so fucked up. It sounds so cool.
He might even like be working on this concept as a whole as his next film.
Oh no, it's not.
It's not? Okay.
It's an end of the world type film.
Ooh, fancy. Found footage end of the world? I dig that. We haven't seen an apocalypse found footage film in a while. Cloverfield's more like an alien invasion.
Almost all of these scenes in the movie are first takes. Adrian Țofei did multiple takes in the beginning, but then realized the first take ones are always the most natural and authentic ones, and decided to include only first takes in the final cut.
Yeah, which is a fantastic decision.
I love the whole entire though of like the I have to be 1 meter away from you as I'm pretty much chasing you.
Oh, that was a good that was a good part of it where he was like, and I get to run, but you don't get to run. And then she's like, yeah, but in real life, I would run away from you. He was like, yeah, but we're doing a movie, dude. Like, you're not supposed to run away from me.
One of the
this is my favorite. This is my favorite note.
One of the executive producers, John Lepper, watched online some of the footage during filming the kidnapping scene looked so real that he contacted the actress Sonia to see if she's okay. And then she wasn't genuinely abducted.
When I read that note, I was like, that is fantastic. That's how real that kidnapping scene looked. Because you hear Adrian say, oh, we gotta wait for the cops to drive by. And I'm like, ah, shit, dude.
Yeah, and also gotta wait for people to drive by as well.
Yeah, but once people showed up, it was like, oh, it's a movie. Like, down in the basement, there's a scene where this guy shows up with his dad. And he's like, what's screaming going on down here? And he's like, oh, no, we're just filming a film. We're just doing a film. She's just in character.
She was still in character.
Yeah. And then he also says after he kidnaps Sonia, or drugs her and puts her in his room, he's like, yeah, everyone in the building knows we're filming a movie, so if you scream, they're not going to help you. They're just going to think you're in character. And I was like, that is a fucking great way to do it, man. It came off as real. I was like, oh, shit. He's like legit kidnapping these people.
Alright, if you want to read, like, the first bit of plot, I'm going to look up that other movie he's going to do.
Sounds good. So, an aspiring Romanian filmmaker and actor obsessed with the actress Anne Hathaway tries to convince her to come to Romania and star alongside him in his upcoming film. He goes to shocking extremes using 3 local actresses to shoot demo scenes to send to Anne as proof of his filmmaking and acting skills. Adrian explains that the film he is making is not in reality Be My Cat. Be My Cat is a film that he has written so Anne Hathaway can play the leading role. He states that his interest in Anne and making the film came from her portrayal of Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises, citing a love for cats. The first actress that he uses as an example of his directorial style is a girl named Sonia, whose parents drop her off with Adrian at an abandoned house down the street from where he stays with his mother. Adrian begins shooting a scene with Sonia that doubles as a frustrating acting exercise. It becomes clear that Be My Cat is about a stalker obsessed with an actress, and the lines start to blur between Adrian as director and Adrian as the character. Increasingly frustrated and frightened, Sonia calls the police. After talking with her, Adrian explains to the police that it was just a misunderstanding and convinces Sonia to shoot another scene at night. In the night scene, the stalker uses chloroform to abduct the actress. In the second take, Adrian uses real chloroform and knocks Sonia out. This is when I thought like we were watching like a legitimate snuff film. I was like, holy
Wait, he used real
shit.
Chloroform on her?
No. This is part of the plot. This is part of the plot.
Oh god, I was about to be like, wait a minute.
No, this is part of the plot.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I'll get down to the notes later. I think I'm in my mid-movie mentions. I mentioned something about the chloroform. He uses quote-unquote real chloroform during the shooting of the film.
To put it out there, I don't think this movie will fully be found footage. It is called We Put the World to Sleep.
Good title.
It is an apocalyptic LGBT female anti-hero movie. 2 girls embark on a mission to bring everything to an end.
So are they killing everybody or are they saving everybody?
I think killing everyone.
Oh, here's my pitch in my brain that I just thought of for it. It's like aliens or monsters or something has taken over the world and everyone is suffering, so these 2 heroes go stop everything and it happens to blow up the world. That's when you said that, that's what came to my brain.
There's an Indiegogo for it.
Ooh. Send that link to us and we can post it in the episode description.
But sadly, it's closed.
No! I wanted to donate.
It only raised $1,200.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Even after the
with
success
18 backers.
With what?
With 18 backers.
Really? Wow. Even after the success of Be My... But maybe that's what he wanted to do. Like, he wanted it to be a smaller thing, so then he can do the same thing he did with this film.
Who knows? Maybe he might just not like the concept of what he's doing and make it found footage.
Maybe.
What
paragraph were you after taking her?
After taking her to his bedroom, Adrian
procures.
Procures a catsuit before undressing her and putting the cat suit on her. Adrian explains to the camera, now personalized as Anne, that he would never do this in real life. That is only him in character. He also states that he is worthy of Anne in every way, betraying that his intentions for Anne may be more than artistic. Adrian says the night beside the knocked out Sonia, when she wakes up frightened, he insists that she must be sacrificed for her art. He chokes Sonia to death and hides her body in the basement.
Hell yeah.
Be on note, Homegirl was still down there the entire time.
Oh yeah, no, I really wanted one of the other girls to find the body when they were in the basement, but they never did.
Like that's like that just like really was like, well, that's so, maybe they did find her and they just didn't like that.
Well, no, the police. If you the beginning of the movie opens with like a this is the 25 hours of footage that the police came through when finding this guy or whatever.
Gosh, so
yeah. Here's a fun fact about me. I met Anne Hathaway when I worked at Island 16.
Huh?
She has a summer house on Long Island.
That's dope.
Yeah, and she Island 16 is her movie theater of choice, and she was seeing oh god, when was it? Probably 2016. She was seeing one of the bigger films of 2016, probably around this June, and she came in with her husband, and I didn't get to meet her, but like she came up to the concession, and then people started noticing her, so she kind of ran away to the theater, and I ended up talking to her husband. Or her then-husband. I don't want to say that they're still married just in case they're not. Her then-husband in 2016. And he seemed like a pretty chill guy. I got him popcorn.
So the only scene that kind of also took me out of it too was the second chloroform bit here.
What do you mean?
Remember, he chloroforms her technically twice.
Oh yeah, I actually have a couple notes about chloroform that we'll get to.
I know this stuff, but also like so from the initial kidnapping, and then when she's freaking out on the bed, he puts chloroform on her then, and that kind of instantly knocks her out.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, we're like there are some things that take us out, but there's some things that put us in. I'll continue reading off with the second paragraph of notes as well. While going to meet the second actress, Adrian explains that he was bullied in the past, and due to this, he dislikes boys and he dislikes dogs for all of the meanness, and likes girls and cats due to their sweetness and innocence. He also explains that the character in his film seeks to turn the actress' character into a surrogate of his cat that he accidentally killed. And that this is based on how he accidentally killed his cat as a child. He ironically chases upon a dead cat. Pretty much he unironically sees a dead cat on the side of the road, which was if that wasn't a sign that movie was going to go perfectly well. I don't know what else was.
When I saw that, I was like, that looks like a legit dead cat. I really hope. Like, there's two parts to this. I hope that he found that, like, by chance, like, while he was actually filming and was like, this works. But I also hope that he didn't get, like a fake, like, stuffed cat and then, like, throw it on the side of the road, because then it's not as authentic.
That looks, it's way too, like, positioned.
Exactly. It looks like a real-ass dead cat. I was like, ooh.
Oh, and we got her name wrong the first time. It's Flory, not Airy.
It's Flory. My bad. You kept calling her Airy. I didn't know what her name was, so I wasn't going to correct you.
That is my bad. If you want to read that part up right now.
Upon meeting the second actress, Flory, Adrian is disappointed as she sent him pictures of herself when she was younger. Displeased with her age and weight, Adrian berates her. Flory then offers him sexual favors in exchange to let her be in the film, which disgusts Adrian. He tells Anne that he will not accept. This was fucked up. She's like, I'll have sex with you, and I was like, that's not, nope.
I don't know if that was I don't know if she actually sent him younger photos of herself.
He probably did because nobody was speaking in English though, and he said that English is his character. So And he did have a sort of script for this film. It wasn't all improv.
Oh no, it was only bullet points.
Yeah. So he probably said, I'll get a chick that looks a little bit bigger in real life than her pictures now or something, or just to berate her in general, just to make her feel uneasy. We shall see. Yeah, you can do this next one, and then I'll do the big one to finish it off.
All right. In the next scene, Adrian has apparently allowed Florrie to stay as they pick up the third actress, a young girl named Alexandria. Adrian asks Alexandria to wait upstairs as he performs surgery on Florrie with a kitchen knife. In the basement, two neighbors come and investigate when they hear Florrie's screams, but Adrian assures that they are filming a horror movie.
Yep.
Later that night, Adrian returns with a catsuit, having surgically thinned Florrie, and intending for her to wear it and be transformed. He is surprised to find her dead from blood loss.
He's like, "Oh no, she's dead." I'm like, "Really, dude? You fucking stabbed her."
Like he looks up at the camera and goes, "Anne, I think I killed her." He acknowledges and enjoys that he has completely disappeared into his character, and therefore can send Alexandria home, already having proved his abilities to Anne.
So, for the final paragraph, while Adrian is retrieving trash bags, Alexandra comes downstairs to find Florrie's body. Adrian finds himself faced with a dilemma, not wanting to kill Alexandra, but knowing she will turn him in. She tries to talk him out of killing her and briefly tries to escape. Realizing she cannot escape, she continues to reason with Adrian. Adrian finds himself somewhat attracted to Alexandria due to the resemblance to Anne Hathaway, even though she doesn't look like as much like Anne Hathaway as the other two, which I'll talk about later, but tells Anne not to be jealous that he only loves her. Alexandra uses this and tells him that he needs to go to Anne, out of love. Adrian says he cannot due to his fear of leaving his hometown. Alexandra says that to win her, he must face his fear and go to her. She excites Adrian with the ideas of marrying and having children with Anne Hathaway, which is a fucking great scene. He's like, "I'm going to have kids with you, Anne. I want to have kids with you." I was like, this is so good. He decides that she is right and agrees to let her live, on the condition that she will wait in the basement and give him 30 minutes to escape and leave for Hollywood. Alexander wishes him luck as he decides that he does not need to make the movie after all, since the movie was just a means to be with Anne. Overjoyed, he turns off the camera, leaving his and Alexandra's fate ambiguous. Even though we do know, at the beginning, it says that this camera was found by the police. It doesn't say if Adrian was arrested, but it said that this was found by the police 25 hours ago or some shit. So,
maybe Alexandria's dead. Maybe.
No, I think he legit let her live. With a lot of the psychopathic tendencies, if you can reason with them, they will most likely let you live. It's a huge, serial killer thing.
Alright, now time for Hunter's favorite segment, the mid-movie notes.
Dude, I low-key love that we have this new mid-movie notes section. It's fun. Because I'm watching this film for the first time, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. So, first mid-movie note. I said, I love this dude's accent. I love Romanian accents. I think they sound nice. Because it's like, with English. It's I don't know, it's different, you know? My next note, I hate found footage films, because I don't like them. Next note, shaky cam, shaky cam, shaky cam, because he's running down the street. My next note, I said, do you think Anne saw this? Update. Asked Adrian, waiting for answer. Update. Got an answer from the man himself. He said, I have no idea if she watched it or not, I only know her managing team is aware of it.
God.
Dude, just imagine one of the managers being like, so do we tell her about this film, or do we, just let it slide? What's the consensus on this guy?
I think with her managing team knowing about it, I think they probably said, hey, do you want to watch this?
I think there's a high chance she's seen it.
Yeah.
Because from what I can tell, she's a big movie fan in general. Next up, I said, this dude is a dickhead when he's yelling at Sonia. I said, I would punch this dude if he was talking to me like that. This guy has no chill. Then I wrote,
it's just water.
It's just water. This dude sucks. And then as he was getting chloroformed, I did, how does chloroform work? And then I went, I googled chloroform. Chloroform causes depression of the central nervous system, ultimately producing deep coma and respiratory central depression. But chloroform works nothing like you see in the movies. It is a slow-working substance which takes minutes to kick in. Chloroform is also dangerous for both the victim and the attacker because of its stench. So it's really not the best choice for criminals. So in movies, they'll put it on the girl's face, and in the course of like maybe 10-15 seconds, the girl gets knocked out. But in real life, you have to hold it there for a whole ass fucking minute.
Maybe it could over like the overall like length that it takes to kick in could affect depending on your body weight as well.
I don't know. It didn't say anything about that when I was looking it up, but it's entirely possible.
I was giving it because when I saw that, I was thinking like, can I give it the benefit of the doubt? Maybe like it depends on the weight of the victim.
It's entirely possible. I mean, it's not gonna. It'll still take up to minutes, but it might be longer for a guy as opposed to a girl.
Yeah.
Maybe. I didn't dig that deep. I just wanted to know how chloroform really worked and why it like just knocks you out. Apparently, it shuts down your nervous system and just goes. And then we get to the part where he wakes up in the bed with Sonia and he goes, "I would never do something like this in real life to you, Anne." And I'm like, dude. And then I said, "Yo, Sonia Torduru is a smoke show, cause damn." Then we get why she got a he tied up dog. I don't know why I wrote it like that.
Why she gotta be tied up dog?
I think I meant to write why she gotta be tied up dog, and then 3 seconds later, and with the knife, bro. And then my next note is he gonna kill her? Bro, what?
And then cut to her getting choked out with the jeans.
Yeah. A lot of these notes are mostly me yelling at you, Zach. That's what the mid-movie notes are there for. It's me reacting so then you can read them and go, oh, yeah. My next note
I read them sometimes.
I low-key want him to drop her while going down the stairs.
I think he almost did.
He almost did. I thought it would be a funny scene if like he just drops her and goes, oh shit. Next note, he put her in the basement on the floor that's mad fucked up.
God, you have so many notes.
Because I was just so fucking like, what's going on? Next note, don't zoom in on the dead cat. I was like, that's not cool. Next note, he killed his cat as a kid, makings of a serial killer / psychopath. Next note, all these chicks look like Romanian Anne Hathaway, which was the point.
Yes.
I like how the new chick turned the tables on him. She wants to fuck him. Bruh, standards.
Hey, but we're wants to talk.
No, I'm not saying bruh standards like she's ugly. I'm saying bruh standards like she is like way too like good looking to offer this dude sexual favors to be in a movie. Not that Adrian's ugly. I was like, she shouldn't be doing that. That's just fucked up. Like, have standards for yourself, dude. I said, new girl time, like her hair. And I went, the other one is still hanging out? I was like, this new girl doesn't look that much like Anne Hathaway, though. We get to the basement scene. Totally doesn't look like a porn.
Definitely.
Nah. This guy's movie is gonna be mad fucked up. Like, he's legit planning to kill Anne Hathaway. Next note, why is he just a murderer?
I think I put that down in my notes somewhere.
Yeah. The next one, I had to turn my volume down for this part when she's screaming really loud. I had my volume at like 30 on my TV, and it was just really fucking loud. And I had to turn it down to like fucking 10.
Flory killed it in this scene. Like, oh my god,
she was going.
She like I'm surprised. Like I wish that like he kind of added in the fact that like she would pass out for a second, then wake back up still screaming.
That would be crazy.
Cause essentially like if you're in so much pain, your body just shuts down.
Yeah, and then the adrenaline brings you back.
Yeah.
Next up, he cut her up to make her thin, bro. Ellipsis. And then I went, she dead. Next note, other girl found the dead one. Hope she lives. And then right at the end, wow, this film. Just wow.
So...
Only real complaint about this film, besides it being found footage, because I'm not a fan, is the end drags on for a little bit too long. You could have cut out, like, maybe 5 or 10 minutes of the conversation between Alexandra and Adrian. But other than that, like, it works for what it is. But I was just like, this is dragging, man. Get to the part where he either kills her or he lets her go.
So my notes are some things that are definitely like just repeats of things that were in notes in general, like their first meetings in person or the actual meetings. A thing that I brought up, which was he said if I speak English, that is his character. Then if he speaks Romanian, that is himself. And like more clarification, very interested if the cop scene was real or not.
Which we did. It was kind of.
I put it in parentheses. I will not ask. I'd rather be left in the dark on that one.
But we found out because of the notes. So apologies for spoiling that for you.
once again, more notes. Adrian prepared for this role by locking himself in his house, keeping himself in there for a number of months to weeks. Adrian makes me feel so uneasy off the gate.
Dude, I think it's because with the found footage style, the movie like opens up with a zoomed in like of his face, and he's like, "Hey guys," and I'm like, "Oh geez, he's already off the gates as like a fucking office rocker murderer." Here we go.
I think I have like where was another thing?
No script.
Oh yeah. There's no script. Mainly bullet points. Like that's how a lot of found footage films work nowadays.
Because you want genuine reactions.
Yeah. One of the most real feeling found footage films I've seen in a while.
I think it's because it's got a really low budget.
Because like if you look at Blair Witch, it feels real.
It feels real until it doesn't.
Even when I was little, like with Paranormal Activity,
yeah,
it felt real. And then my favorite quote: "This bitch wanted to escape." This bitch wanted to escape. For a found footage film, on the most realistic shoestring budget possible, the acting is so good, and there's no denying that at all.
No, it's 100% true. These actors and actresses were phenomenal. I was like, this is such a low budget, and these actors are honestly nobodies. No offense to any of them, and I was just like, Jesus, they're so good in this. Like, what's going on?
And I do wish we had better motives on the killings, though.
Well, I mean, we know. He wasn't trying to kill Flory. He was just trying to make her thin to put into the catsuit. He wasn't
I
trying
wish
to
it was
kill
a better motive for Sonia.
I think he killed her because she was gonna run away and like squeal or something, and he was like, "Can't have that. Gotta kill you." That's what I think it was.
Yeah. Hey, like, I like this film. Like I recommended this because I saw it. For me, I'm a big fan of found footage films. I sing the praises of Chronicle. I sing the praises of
Paranormal
Activity, Blair Witch, anything to do with found footage films. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's also because I am a cinephile and a film buff in general who just likes random things.
You know, I like movies. You like to criticize and like dissect movies. I just watch movies, man. I watch and enjoy.
And now another section is reviewers. I will read the first two paragraphs in the good review. Hunter, I'll leave the bad review to you.
Yeah.
I think we should do that. Like if we have different opinions.
Well, yeah, I figured whoever gives it the best review will read the good one, and whoever has the worst review will give it the bad one.
The review, Be My Cat, a Film for Anne, was widely acclaimed by critics and currently holds an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But only a 50% or so with audience.
Really?
Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know if it's exactly 50, but I know it's certified rotten or something.
Sure, like a lot of things. Like sure, you can like I take some critics' opinions to standards, but like with a Rotten Tomato review, if you have an 83 by critics, that's really good.
That's pretty solid, yeah. But then again, think about Last Jedi. Last Jedi has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the fan audience score is like 46.
We don't talk about that.
we don't like to talk about that.
It has been included by Dread Center in the top 5 best horror films of 2016, by Blumhouse in the top 5 new intelligent found footage films you need to see.
You know, Blumhouse recognizes it.
By Yard Baker in the top 20 best found footage horror films, by Film Threat, or is that Treat? That's Threat.
It's Threat.
And top 7 recent European horror films worth watching, and by audiences everywhere in the top 50 best horror films of the 2000s.
Yeah, man, this is up there. A lot of people like this film. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just
even Blumhouse gave it the top 5 intelligent found footage films.
Yeah, which is crazy. I want to see what the other ones are. I might go back and look at all these lists and see what beat it and what it beat, to see if I agree or disagree with some of the critics and reviewers.
Now, the good review from Alistair Ryder of Film Inquiry, a 4 out of 5. With so many layers of meta-commentary blurring the lines between reality and film, Be My Cat is an enjoyable oddball watch. I agree.
Yeah, man. It's totally agreeable. Like, even though I gave it less of a review, like a lesser score than you, yes. I can still agree that it is just, like, mind-blowing how, like, the meta just works so well and how it blurs into the film.
If you get Courtney to watch this, I want to hear how she reacts.
She's not watching it. She does not like horror movies, and this is too real.
Okay.
I mean, maybe down the line, but no time soon.
Okay. I thought she liked horror films.
Yeah, no. So she's a big scaredy cat. The only one she liked recently was the It movies and the Predator movies.
Okay.
Yeah. Now for the bad review, and it's not even a bad review. Laura Clifford of Reeling Reviews gave it a C+. This Romanian found footage film may hold few surprises and drags through much of its runtime, but it's worth checking out for the filmmaker's seriously deranged performance. The 87-minute film would have been much improved if there were at least 10 minutes less of it, and I agree with that. There was a scene like right at the end where I was like, just get to the point. Kill her or don't. That was just me, though.
But also, like, with that scene, though, it gives a lot of, like, explanation, and it kind of, like, gives us some sympathy for Adrian.
Oh, yeah, but it's also, it comes back to the psychology of a serial killer. Yes. I would recommend that you watch Mindhunter on Netflix, Zack. It's, like, 2 seasons. It was put on hold for now, so hopefully season 3 does come out.
That's the one with the serial killers, right?
Yeah, it's the one that's, it's the FBI first introduction into the investigating the psychology of serial killers, and it's like the quote-unquote real story of it. Really good. It's got Jonathan Groff as the main guy. He's what's his face, Kristoff from Frozen, and he's the king in Hamilton. He's King George.
I might just pick up. I saw some clips of, like, the ones where they interviewed
Kemper.
Kemper. They interviewed the Charles Manson.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I want to pick apart some of them.
Yeah, if you watch that, we can do like a bonus episode. Even though it's a TV show, we can just talk about it, because I love that show. That show is so good. And the opening scene is just like, it draws you in so hard.
All right, Hunter, what is your review?
Now for our personal reviews. I think this is our first 0.5 rating. Like,
yes.
So I gave it a 6.5 okays out of 10. That's my favorite line in the movie. Just okay, because he's trying to rationalize what he just did.
Yeah.
Because he didn't expect to kill her, and then he killed her, had to figure it out, put her downstairs, left the camera there, came back up, was like, okay. He was trying to like calm himself down, get the anxiety out. He's having like a low key panic attack. I thought that was really cool. So it's one of my favorite scenes.
He was genuinely scared to see if anyone's gonna walk in on him. Too.
Yeah, exactly. He knew they were filming a horror, like, he said they were filming a horror film, but if anyone, like, inspected it, it would have been like, oh shit, she's dead.
Yeah.
So, and then, but like I've been saying throughout the whole film, I don't really like found footage films, but I enjoyed this film thoroughly. A 6.5 isn't a low rating, but it isn't a high rating. I do like the performance from Adrian. It is phenomenal. It's one of the best performances I've seen in years. I wish I watched this film when it first came out. Yeah, exactly. I wish I watched this film when it first came out to truly appreciate his performance. Because watching it now, I can't really appreciate it as much because it's been 5 or so years since that, and there's been a lot of great independent films. Yeah. So, I don't know. I liked it. I know you liked it a lot more than me, but you're also more of a critical. You like those indie art house kind of films. So, what's your review, Zack?
I gave it 8. I don't like boys and I don't like dogs out of 10.
That's like, another great line.
Okay, because the way he said it,
exactly,
was just, like, so good. I'm more of an art house type person. Surprisingly, I used to be a big, like, blockbuster type dude.
I'm still a big blockbuster dude, and I'm getting into some of the art house stuff, but there are things that are too art housey for me. Like that movie that came out this year, it's called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. That is too art house for me. I absolutely did not like how that movie turned out. The beginning is phenomenal, but then the ending just drives into the dirt. I still gave it like a 7, but that's because the beginning was so good, and the ending just went It's on Netflix. I highly recommend you check it out, Zach, to see if your art house take. I see your art house take on that.
Definitely, yeah. Just send me the name of it again.
Yeah.
So I'll remember, because I don't listen to the podcast fully when I edit it. I just.
Oh no! You edit what you gotta. Which we don't really need to edit that much in this one.
I legit just sync up.
Yeah.
I go, okay, it's synced. Drop each bit.
You need to use Letterboxd more, my boy.
I know. I have one. I don't use it as frequently.
I use it every goddamn day. It is phenomenal. I don't know if I wrote a review for this one, but I know I ranked it somewhere. But
yeah,
you definitely gotta use it.
I agree. Like, Adrian's performance is outstanding. I've seen a lot of independent films. A lot of things are. So I'm very tongue in cheek about my movie taste.
Mm-hmm.
If we do get the chance to interview Adrian, it will be like amazing just to do so. I'm very interested to learn more about this film.
Yeah, same.
I'm interested to learn what this film could have been.
Exactly. I want to know more about what his original concept was and how far he actually developed that one before he ended up switching it up.
Okay, yeah.
I also want to know if that actor ever got back to him.
And Adrian, though, if you are listening, once again, you made a good film. I highly appreciate it. It's up there with one of my favorite found footage films of all time.
I would recommend it to any horror buff. I just don't know if I would recommend it to like my normie friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and also another thing, Galen Howard, get back to us.
I haven't even sent him a message yet. We'll get to him too. All right.
Send him a message soon, because like he keeps like lurking on our Instagram.
Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at Box Office Losers, where I post like some art or some posters and the thumbnails. And then I'm going to start working on more stuff for the Instagram, just like fluff it out a little bit more.
The Twitter,
the Twitter, you just use it as like a repost bot, and you should really start using it to like message filmmakers and stuff, and other reviewers. And we'll clear things up on that. It's right now at Box Losers. Hopefully we can eventually get Box Office Losers, but we shall see. It'll never happen, but you never know. Maybe Twitter will we're shutting down all inactive accounts, and then we'll be able to steal it. So we'll see. You can check that out for up-to-date stuff, even though the Instagram is probably the better one. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, leave a review on Apple Pods, and share with a friend. That is the most important thing. Even if they don't listen to it, as long as you share it, that is phenomenal. I would love to see more reviews on our Apple thing. If we get reviews on Apple, I will read them on the show right at the end to give you guys some appreciation, just so it's like, hey, look, we love you. So definitely do that. I got my mic stuck in the slinky.
Maybe like if we get popular enough, we'll open up a Patreon as well.
Don't toot your own horn too much, Zachy boy. Listen. But you never know. We need more money to buy better equipment for the show.
We could do because if we get a Patreon, we can set up tiers. Like, hey, we could do like a watch along night for the movie we're gonna review.
I definitely want to do watch alongs. I also want to have a side podcast where we only talk about Blumhouse films.
Oh God!
Called the Blumhouse Boys. I would definitely love to do watch alongs with people. We could watch. I think you can technically do that on Twitch. You can live stream. Stuff.
Yes.
Or YouTube Live lets you do it. I forget which one.
No, Twitch, because Twitch we can have a watch along with anything on Amazon's Prime list.
Ooh, interesting. But we can't watch like Netflix.
No.
Interesting. So Amazon Prime, that's pretty good. This is on Amazon Prime. I'd love to do a watch along.
I know this because I was part of a 24-hour stream and I watched The Wrath of Khan with some people.
God!
I fell asleep during like the second act, but. I know we can do it, though.
Sounds awesome. So, Zach, where can they find you on the interwebs?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkShadowZake. I'm also a contributor for the Sports Hit List. You can also just find my YouTube channel where I do my production stuff. I upload like demo reels and stuff that I work on, which is Dark Shadow Productions. I'll make sure I link that to Hunter so he has it.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's pretty much where you can find me everywhere.
Yeah, you can find me at Scruffy Mooseman on Letterboxd, I think, or it's my name, on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on the Android's Amazing podcast, which is every Wednesday at 10 a.m. We talk about comic books, news, and we review the newest books that come out. You can also find me at Pound That Button, which is a PlayStation podcast I host with my best buddies. We talk about video games. This week's episode, which came out a couple days ago on Tuesday, we talked about villains, like big bad bosses. So definitely give that a listen, and thank you guys for listening to this.
Oh, boy, don't forget to follow us on TikTok as well.
Oh, you made a TikTok?
I've had a TikTok.
No, you made it for the Box Office Losers, though?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, you can follow me on TikTok at Scruffy Moose Man, whatever.
And
I have
me
stupid
too,
videos where I'm, like, doing dumb voices.
Alright, guys, we don't have a catchphrase to end on, just goodbye.
Bye. Okay.
Okay. Okay.